In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Moon Tea Podcast. You know who I am and you know who Hugh is, wherever he is. Today we're joined by Phil. Phil, I forgot your last name.
Cho.
Phillip Cho. Oh, it says right there. And yeah, Philip lived at my where I lived. He just like took my spot when I was in Berkeley, and then he also worked at the company that I used to work for. And yeah, we've been pretty good friends, and we've like, I don't know, I'll just call him like once a year and be like, "Yo, what's up?" And
it's great. It's been like what, 5 years now?
Yeah.
Feel like?
And as you can see, Phil is now just killing it in life. Like he has that cool looking column thing behind him. But yeah, and also Hugh, this is Hugh. So
hi, how's it going, Phil?
Good.
I'm excited. All right, well, that's really cool. Let's see, you guys met in Berkeley.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I guess like the Bay Area in general.
Oh.
I think we met up like in the city, and then I think like one day he randomly invited me over to his place, and I ended up like crashing that night. Yeah, and like that's I guess pretty much how things got kicked off.
I love it. Slumber parties for the win. Now you're here. Cool, man. That's awesome. Oh.
He also was living in the Bay Area at the time.
Oh,
So
cool. Okay.
So all the three of us were part of Koru.
You were part of Koru too? Jinx.
What? Did not know that.
Funny.
Were you
Man.
in John's cohort then?
Mm-mm.
Is that how you?
I was
two
in the
know
one
each other,
after.
no?
Yeah.
Oh, one after. Got
Yeah.
it.
John
And
was,
for-
John's
an
like
alumni.
the OG alum, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh man, look at him.
For the one or two of you listening, Koru was a program that doesn't exist anymore, but it was catered towards recent college grads, and like it was like a 3-week boot camp where you just like did stuff and then tried to learn how to interview and all that stuff, and it was great for moving to a new city and like making friends. So yeah. Oh, Hugh, why are you muting yourself? Dude, he's doing something sketch. He's probably talking to his dad.
He definitely
But,
has like the best mic quality. Out of the
Oh,
three
he
of us.
does?
Yeah, with this studio quality mic.
Wait, no, we
You
have the
just-
same.
just-
We have
Oh,
this.
you have to say?
Yeah, we have the same microphone. Why is his so much better?
Oh, really? I thought you were just using your Bose headphones.
No, dude, check this out.
Oh, what? Yeah, I could like definitely hear the quality difference in Hugh's. Yeah, interesting.
Well, let me
I mean,
let me move
you're
my.
like clear too, so.
Dude, I'm offended. Maybe I have background noise or something. I have a fan behind me.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know what it is. It's like you know what I'm talking about though? It's like you know, like the studio mic quality or like the mic from a studio. It just has that like more rich, more tone
Dude,
kind of sound. Yeah,
that's supposed to be my. Well, maybe he has really good settings.
yeah, maybe.
Ooh. Hey.
And he's back.
So sorry, technical difficulty. Someone called my phone and it froze Zoom on my
okay.
laptop.
No worries.
Disconnected my AirPods.
Yeah.
Ooh. What did I miss? What's up, guys?
Dude,
Yeah.
we just finished the episode actually. Sorry.
Well, it was a pleasure. I'm so sad. I'll listen to it. I'm looking forward to it. It's what? We're on Spotify now?
Oh yeah, we are.
Spotify?
Yeah, we're on Spotify as of
Wow.
like 2 days ago or something.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, I finally got
Where
it.
were you
Like,
guys like before?
oh, we were on YouTube.
Oh, just
We're
YouTube? Got it.
yeah, I think we're on episode 22.
Episode 22.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The first episode is me and Hugh
Yeah.
being like, just being like,
Just
what are
talking.
we doing? Like I don't know, let's put it up. And then now
Yeah,
we're still doing that, but
yeah,
we're a little bit better at pretending like we know what we're doing.
gotcha.
Um, so yeah, Phil, do you want to say a spiel about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So let's see. I also was like my hometown, because I feel like that's pretty unique to the people I meet. So basically, I was born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska. So spent my entire childhood all the way to like high school in Alaska, which like like looking back, it definitely was a pretty like unique experience. Like I spent my summers like going camping, fishing for salmon, and all of that. And like I remember like as a kid, I used to like hate like going camping or fishing because like it was always um, out of the blue. Like my parents would literally tell me like the night before, like day of, like, hey, we're going to go camping for like a couple of days. But I mean, like looking back, it was like you know uh, it was a positive experience. It was very fortunate to have like those memories. But yeah, so basically fast forward to high school graduation. I basically moved out of Alaska once I got accepted to college. So I moved to Michigan in a very tiny place called Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo is like south of Michigan, 2 hours away from Chicago, and my college was literally called Kalamazoo College. Very tiny liberal arts like college. We had like maybe 1,400 people total. So like you basically knew everyone by face, and it was always an awkward interaction when you kind of like know someone, but you're not really friends. So it's always like, okay, do I say hi or do I just kind of walk by? So yeah, that was a pretty interesting experience. I met my best friends who now all live either in like SoCal or like NorthCal now. So yeah, it's been great, great experience there. And then basically after graduating from college, I essentially took a leap of faith. So for some context, like after graduating, I got I guess my first official job at this like financial services company in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I spent a summer with them, and I still remember like I would be sitting at the table and just kind of looking around my peers. They were all like double my age. I was the youngest like person there. They all had like families and like all of that. And yeah, I just realized like this is not for me. I can't work here. Like, what am I doing still like in Michigan? And at the time, I had a very strong interest in kind of like the startup scene. And obviously, if you think of startups, you think of San Francisco. So San Francisco essentially became kind of like my goal to like move into and kind of immerse myself there. And essentially, I somehow found out about Koru. I can't remember exactly how. Maybe it was like on Google or like somewhere random. But I basically applied because I saw that the cohort that I was applying to was working, or I guess like partnering with Facebook. And to me, that was like, holy shit, like this sounds like a great kind of opportunity to kind of move over to the Bay. So I still remember I basically told myself like, yeah, if I get accepted into Koru, then I'm gonna quit everything, drop everything, forget my lease, and just kind of fly over to San Francisco, which is how I ended up in San Francisco. So the day I got accepted, I basically quit my job, booked a one-way flight to the Bay, not knowing anyone. All I had for the day waiting for me was like this unknown program called Koru. So yeah, I ended up flying over to Koru, and that's basically how I met kind of like the first, I guess, first people in the Bay. And like, granted, like you all probably know this, but we're basically all like fresh out of college from all over like the country, all trying to like break into the tech scene. So yeah, and then fast forward after Koru, I met John randomly, I think through like a Facebook post or something. I essentially cold messaged John because I think he like posted about an opportunity for TrueCore, which was first startup we worked together at. And then yeah, I basically cold messaged John. I was like, cool, I'll like refer you. He referred me, and then next day I got a phone call from like a hiring manager. And yeah, essentially, long story short, that's how I started my, I guess, my career in the Bay.
Wow, slid into John's DMs and then got a job.
Basically slid into John's DMs, yeah.
Oh yeah. Hugh, I want you to ask questions. I already know Phil.
Oh, okay, sure. I'm totally down. So then what happened after? I want to hear the rest of this story.
Oh yeah. So I mean like essentially I started at TrueCore in a customer support function. At the time, I was basically living in this like pseudo tech house, which turned out to actually be kind of like a hostel, or yeah, hostel on like Airbnb. And I remember like I used to live with like four random guys in a single bedroom. It was like 2 bunkers on each side, and that's essentially how I was kind of surviving out in the Bay.
Classic San Francisco.
Yeah, classic like San
here we go.
Francisco, like a broke college kid just started a job. And yeah, basically like 3 months in my job, John told me he was like moving to like SoCal. And I think that's why he like invited me over to his place in Berkeley. I think I like actually declined him a couple of times because like I had no money. I was like too broke to like afford this place, even though it was like maybe like a couple $100 or $few $100 like difference. But like to me, like I was like, oh shit, it's like an added expense in addition to like transportation costs. So I was like, yeah, I can't do that. But anyways, he like eventually convinced me. So I ended up moving into his place, which was a pretty like sweet place. I mean, it was nothing fancy, but the room that I moved into, or John's room, was like pretty damn big. Because it was like a converted like like a family space or living room.
So this is after
like a
John.
shared living room. Yeah.
This is after John. This isn't the closet. This is you went.
Yeah,
up
just
a level
post closet. Yeah. I heard about the closet. Yeah, I got
Phil, I don't remember you. I don't remember you declining. That's so funny. I must have been. Yeah, I must have been persistent.
Yeah, I remember I said no like twice, and then I think you guys were like urgently trying to like find someone to like take over your lease. And that's probably why you kept on asking me. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I basically just moved into John's room.
I think he like I just like left my stuff too. I was like Phil, just keep everything.
Yeah, you basically like left everything. Like there's like so much random stuff in that room. Like I had like 4 wooden like drawers that you all found somewhere on the streets.
Oh no, we didn't find it.
You didn't find it?
No, we stole it from Berkeley.
Oh, you stole it. Got it.
Yeah.
And also I had this like huge whiteboard that I supposedly carried from the office in San Fran all the way to Berkeley.
It was a giant whiteboard.
It was huge. Yeah, it was like the size of a wall.
It was a great whiteboard.
Yeah, it was a great whiteboard. I basically used that to like cover my door. Because I had like one of those glass doors, so you could like see through. So yeah, I basically just used that for privacy. But yeah, like getting back to I guess TrueCore, ended up spending about 3.5 years there. During that time, I essentially moved around like every year within the company. Like I stayed in that support function for I don't know, 10, 11 months. And then you know, my goal is always to kind of work with that, be some sort of analyst. So after like 10 months, the company create like a formal analytics function. And so I had the opportunity to kind of hop over as like a junior analyst. So basically learned all my skills from that experience. And then fast forward like another year, I got another opportunity to kind of join the customer success team as like the data analyst. And like at that point, I remember like I guess my skill level just like drastically just took a jump. And like one day I just kind of became like this go-to person. And I remember like it was just me, and I was like supporting like all of the various like departments in Truecore, from like anywhere from like legal and product, customer success, obviously. I was just like all over the place. But I mean, like through that experience, like you know, I was fortunate to have the opportunity to wear like many different hats. And yeah, from there, I eventually moved on to join another startup in the Bay called Handshake, which is a startup in the early Italian marketplace. So kind of think of it as like a kind of like a LinkedIn for college students. And if you kind of remember how your universities or colleges have like your career portals, well, Handshake actually is kind of like the career portal for a lot, like majority of the top like colleges and universities in this nation now.
Cool.
So yeah, and then you know spent like 2.5 years there, and I recently left and joined another startup called Chime. So Chime is you know definitely a late stage startup. So it's kind of like the biggest I guess organization I ever been part of. So yeah, it's been going cool. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. And you're in risk analysis, or?
So I'm a right now I'm a senior analyst for our reporting and insights team. So I did a lot of insights work over at Handshake as well, and that's basically how I got connected with Chime.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Chime's doing really well. Yeah, I know a guy, Kyle. He works there.
Oh,
as
cool. Okay.
PM. Very cool. Chime's doing well. You guys have.
Yeah, Chime's like doing like really well.
Yeah, they have Phil. Of course, they're doing well.
I'm into that.
I mean, I came a little bit late to the party, but yeah.
Mhm. I love seeing your progression.
Yeah.
Like you went to this startup.
Yeah,
I was like,
my progression was like, yeah, it's pretty wild to like think about. I think it started from like rock bottom.
Dude,
Yeah.
One way ticket
Literally,
to San
rock bottom.
Francisco,
Yeah.
4 people, 2 bunk beds, 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're doing. Yes. And now you're here.
Crazy. Yeah, now I'm here.
What year did you buy that one-way ticket? 2015, 2014?
Yeah, it was 2015.
2015? Right on.
2015.
Right on. Did you graduate same year as all of us, 2015 as well? Or
I graduated 2015.
I graduated 2014.
2014.
oh,
so
did
we
you?
were apart.
Oh, nice. Wow, you're my young. That's cool.
Whatever you
You're
say.
2015 too, Hugh?
Yeah, 2015 as well.
Got it.
Hey man, I did do a 23andMe and I have 0.03% Korean, so I can definitely call you.
I mean, that
Dude.
pronunciation is pretty spot on.
안녕하세요. My best friends, 2 of them are Korean, so
Yeah.
I wonder who they are.
Me and Phil, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Distant relative. Yeah.
There it is. Thomas, you're dead to me. Just kidding.
And another thing Phil forgot to mention is that he doesn't live in Berkeley anymore.
Oh yeah, I don't live in Berkeley anymore. So basically, like when the pandemic happened, when offices turned like fully remote, I kind of took that opportunity to relocate myself. So right now, I'm in Portland, Oregon. So from Berkeley, moved to Portland. I've been here for about a year now. And yeah, been loving it out here.
Comparing San Francisco, Alaska, That one
Michigan?
place, Michigan,
Michigan.
and then
No, Portland.
Oregon. What's your favorite? Have a favorite?
I mean, like in terms of living quality and like all of that, I say like I'm definitely happy in Portland. I think like the Bay Area for me, like in the beginning, it was like kind of my dream like city to like live, work, like wherever in.
And then you couldn't wait to get away. No.
Yeah, but after like kind of like getting my start, picking out my career there, and like all of that. Yeah, the city just kind of it wasn't what I imagined it to be, to put it nicely. Yeah.
I mean, I think, I think the three of us all have some variation of that experience, but I'm
Yeah.
curious, Phil, if you could kind of like dig deeper into that and like what do you mean by that? Like what did you expect and what was it?
Yeah, I think like before I moved to San Francisco, I'm like granted like I've never been to like San Francisco prior to moving. I guess I just had this kind of like picturesque like image in my head where it's like super nice weather, like sunshine, a beautiful like skyline, and just kind of I think like in my head I was kind of like romanticizing like SF as a city in a way. But like when I like moved there, it was definitely like a sticker shock. I mean, like the city itself was pretty dirty. It wasn't nearly as clean as I imagined. It smelled like piss in a lot of places. And like I think like part of that is like at the time like Koru was like in the Tenderloin area or on the edge of Tenderloin, which is a pretty rough city or rough neighborhood in the city. So you would walk down Market Street, see a pile of like human poop, like shit, literally on the ground, and yeah, it was just unpleasant. It was just very very different from what I had expected. Yeah, but I mean, like on the flip side, like San Francisco definitely has like a really cool culture. It's super diverse, so I love all of the different kind of pockets and like neighborhoods around the Bay Area. I feel like each neighborhood kind of has its own charms and like its own culture. So that was really cool. Obviously, kind of the tech scene and the career progression in the Bay is nothing but amazing. I've met so many smart people like throughout my years there. And yeah, it's just kind of like it's I guess in a way it's always been kind of inspiring to have the opportunity to like work with people that exist in the Bay Area. So like even now, like although I'm kind of important now, I say like career-wise on like the types of companies I want to work with, I will definitely stick to kind of Bay Area like tech companies, startups, whatever you want to call it. So yeah.
I mean, I feel like what happened was that Phil went to San Francisco, got his skill set, became a senior analyst, and then as soon as he got that, he was like, "All right, peace, going to Oregon."
Peace out.
Do you, Phil? Do you think you'll stick around Oregon? Like, how do you see the next few years unfolding?
Yeah, I definitely want to stick around Oregon. Definitely in the short term. I do might see myself living here for like a couple more years, and then after that, like who knows where I'll be. I think this whole kind of like remote, like working from home, just kind of opens up so many other like doors.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely look into that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to kind of get into the real estate game up here in Portland. That's kind of one of the reasons why I want to kind of move out of the Bay Area to essentially just be able to afford like properties and stuff. So
May I recommend Bend, Oregon?
Bend, Oregon.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
nice, dude.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't been outside Portland much yet, so
Oh, snap.
yeah, I
Huh.
haven't been to a lot of places around the Oregon area actually.
That's cool. Why'd you pick, of all the places you could pick, why Portland, Oregon?
Yeah. So like I know no one in Portland. So basically like my thought process was like, okay, I know that I want to move outside of the Bay, preferably outside of California. I also wanted to live somewhere relatively close, like within driving distance, if I had to like move back for whatever reason. So it came down to basically like two options for me. Oh, and I also wanted to like stay on the West Coast. So basically boiled down to like two options for me. I was either looking at Denver or Portland, and I essentially chose Portland because it was a shorter drive from Berkeley.
It's actually really funny. I like it.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean like Portland just seems like a really like cool city to be in. I have to say like I was not expecting the weather to be this nice. Like for the past year, it's been mostly like sunny blue skies. It like does rain occasionally, but it usually rains like during night or in the late evening. So by the time you start your day, everything's dry, the sun's back. Yeah,
And you get blizzards in February.
Yeah,
and then you get a
blizzard.
and then you get heat waves in what was it, like a month ago?
Yeah, it was like the heat wave was like a couple of weeks ago actually. That was pretty brutal.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah. Most days it's pretty mild. Yeah.
Amazing. That's really cool. So it sounds like I'm guessing you also from childhood you like outdoorsy stuff, so it must have pretty good outdoorsy hikes or camping, or do you camp anymore? Or
yeah, not as often. I actually went camping like last week.
That's pretty recent. That's awesome.
That's really
Where'd you go? What'd you do?
I actually went back home to Alaska, so went camping up there. I haven't camped around the Oregon area yet, but I'll definitely look into that now. But yeah, I'm definitely down for outdoorsy stuff, whether it's like going on a hike or just taking a walk outside somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I say there's definitely a lot of outdoor activities available here in the area.
I love it. Are those your main hobbies, or?
No, I mean, I'm a gamer. I love playing games. Love playing like competitive shooters. I have like all the consoles too. So I think lately I've been trying to like get back into like Smash. Yeah, I've been playing a bit of Smash. A lot of Valorant too. And yeah. So yeah, I definitely enjoy gaming. I love traveling too. So I think like pre-pandemic, I used to take like 1 or 2 international trips a year. So yeah, love traveling. Also love eating. So I'm a foodie. I love watching all of those like food blogs to kind of get an idea of like, oh shit, I should try this place out, or I should travel to this area to check something out. So
that's amazing. But do you actually read food blogs, or is it more your kind of the social media feeds?
Yeah, I mean a little bit of both. It's like mostly like YouTube blogs. So there's this channel called like Strictly Dumpling, if you've ever heard of them. But
I don't know. Yeah, I'll go look it up.
Yeah.
Link in the show notes below. No,
no promo.
Cool.
But yeah, So yeah, that's definitely where I get most of my food ideas from.
Do you have a favorite place in Portland anybody and everybody should go to?
Yeah, I mean, I say like the Thai scene, like the Thai food scene up in Portland is pretty strong. There's so many like Thai places here, and like they all taste like amazing. So you can't go wrong. There is a place that's only like a 5-minute walk from my place. I can't exactly remember the name at the top of my head, but I usually get their like fried trout combo thing. It's absolutely delicious. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Wait, you guys may have more fresher produce than we do, fresher fish. Arizona.
Oh, you're in Arizona?
It's hard to get fresh fish
Got
over
it,
here.
yeah. Are you from Arizona?
Yeah, born and raised.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you used to live in the Bay Area, and then did you recently move back to Arizona, or have you been there
I
for a while?
moved back in 2017. So I was in the Bay Area for 2 years, 2015, 2017, and I saw the light. I said, nah, I'm not ever coming back here.
Smart, yeah.
Yeah, I think we all had humble beginnings in San Francisco, and now we're thankfully like a little bit better off than we were like 5 years ago. So
yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like I guess just like financially and like everything else. Yeah, it's a drastic change from 5 years ago.
feels like a master analyst now, head analyst.
No, not yet, but we'll see. I'm better off now as an analyst than I was 5 years ago.
Dude, that's amazing. That's the only way to do it, bit by bit.
Exactly.
I love it.
So what are some of your goals for? I talk about this because in the last episode we tried to think of like 5-year goals, and John, who was our guest, just like had pretty good ones. I just came up with one. Hugh said nothing, but yeah, I don't know if you think about that, but do you have stuff that you want to get going, like things you want to get better at? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I don't think I have like any concrete like goals, but I do have like aspirations. So I kind of briefly mentioned about wanting to get into the real estate game. So I guess 5 years out, I'm hoping to own a couple condos I could kind of rent out. And I guess like my ultimate goal is to just create different passive income streams. Like I think of my job as obviously like my primary source of income right now, but I'm hoping to diversify, whether it be through like real estate investing or I guess like stock market. I have started to kind of grow my dividend investment portfolio. So I've been investing more into companies that provide like monthly dividends. So yeah, it's so grind, but hoping to build it up over time. So yeah, I guess like I don't know, goal wise, I just kind of want to diversify my income streams to free up more of my personal time, so I could either spend more time traveling or hanging out with friends and family. Yeah.
Why do you want to buy condos out of all the real estate? You could have mentioned, you said condos. That's interesting.
Yeah, like part of it is I think it just there's just like less maintenance and like housework that goes into like owning a condo versus like an actual house. Like there's so many like miscellaneous things I don't have to worry about. For example, like yard maintenance or you know or fixing the water pipe or things break down in your house. You kind of have to hire someone or fix it yourself. But with condos, most of those maintenance type stuff is usually handled by kind of like the building. So that's partly why. And also, I guess like the demographic that I want to start renting out to is kind of like young professionals that are, that live within the city, kind of like perimeter. So yeah, that's partly why it just seems like a bit easier to kind of start. Although obviously it's it might be more kind of expensive in terms of purchasing a condo or I guess a house, but
you also have HOA
yeah.
fees.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Interesting. Do you have to pay 20% down, or is it like 15% or 5%, 10%?
I think it like really depends. It could be anywhere from like 5 to like 20%. I think on average people put like a 5 to 10% down.
Oh, really?
But yeah, but obviously that affects like how much your mortgage will be, as well as like interest payments, like all of that. So yeah, I think personally for me, I'm trying to hit being between 20 to 30%. Yeah.
If you do under 20%, then you have to pay extra for insurance.
Oh, okay. It's good to know too.
If you're a veteran, then you can do, I think it's called a FHA loan, and you can buy a house with 0% down and not pay that insurance. So I knew someone who was a doctor in the Navy, and he would buy a house like every year, and his goal was to have 30 houses, and they're all funded by cash flow. When they pay off the mortgage, and then he has a little bit on top. And yeah, he was definitely taking advantage of that program.
That's awesome. Wow. Some perks when you're a veteran, I guess. That's pretty awesome. Wow. I'm curious. So there's a lot of different income streams or ways to diversify one's portfolio and or future. And so as a senior, almost head risk, not analyses. What's the term? What's the position called?
Master analyst.
Master analyst. Perfect. Let's call that as a master analyst. So how do you see what type of possibilities did you analyze to then decide on real estate, dividends, stocks? There's quite a few.
And why not Bitcoin?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I mean, like crypto is like part of it too. Forgot to mention that. I feel like the honest answer is like I'm not sure if I have like a concrete methodology or like a sophisticated like approach when it comes to like investing. I will say like when it comes to trying to generate like passive like streams of income, then real estate I guess historically have been like a good approach to try to of like generating like cash flow. So with that kind of I guess similar logic, that's how I started kind of getting into the whole like monthly dividends investing, because that is also another obviously like a consistent stream of income on a monthly basis. And then when it comes to, I guess, like growth and appreciation, that's you know, that's basically why I chose to invest in individual like stocks. Like most of the stocks that I invest and own are in the tech sector, so I'm not diversified in any way or shape or form. But I mean, like I say, like I feel fairly, I guess, like protected in a way, since I do have like my traditional like 401k, like all of that. And because I guess I'm, still like relatively young, like I'm still in my late 20s, like I want to take like bigger risks. So yeah, been mostly investing in tech-related stocks, and then I also have some investments in cryptocurrency as well. And I say like my appetite for risk is probably on the extreme side. Like I've taken an extreme approach to investing in the sense that I basically don't have like a emergency savings or an emergency fund. Like at any given time, I probably only have like $1,000 in cash, and everything else I just put into the markets or into like crypto or wherever. And for me, like I know that if I need access to like quick liquidity, I could always like use margin or borrow against my portfolio. So yeah, I'm not too worried about not having like an emergency fund.
Have you done that? Have you borrowed against your portfolio?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you do
so
it?
Usually like when it comes to like your stock portfolio, I think like Coinbase is also offering like margin. Basically, like depending on the size of your portfolio, you can borrow up to a certain amount.
Like a percentage?
Yeah, like a percentage of your portfolio. Like apps like Robinhood make it super easy to do that.
Yeah.
Same with Coinbase, I think. Coinbase, you could borrow against your like crypto holdings as well. And yeah, you basically just take, I guess, use margin to borrow against your portfolio, and you could withdraw that cash if you need to. But obviously, the risk there is like you have to pay it back. And
what interest rates?
Everything like margin call. I think the interest rates depends on the platform, but they're pretty reasonable. I think they're maybe 5% on average. Yeah,
That's not bad. That's not too
yeah,
bad.
it's not bad at all.
If you have a big enough start portfolio, like a brokerage account, and you borrow against it, you can get like 2 to 3%.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Can you borrow? Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, you can. It depends on. There's this rate that banks use to borrow against each other, so it'll be like that rate plus 2% if you have like if you're borrowing like this much. But yeah, but I don't know, we don't. It's not that relevant.
Oh, it's amazing. That's awesome. I'm really, really randomly curious though. Are you a Bitcoin maximalist or?
I probably wouldn't call myself as like Bitcoin maximalist. I do think Bitcoin is here to stay. So yeah. So I mean, like I do have like some Bitcoin, but it's not a lot.
Do you have other cryptos?
Yeah, I just have Bitcoin, Litecoin. I think I own some Cardano. Yeah. And I think I have some like Dogecoin.
Yeah,
as well.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You think?
Yeah, I haven't checked it in a while, but
That's good. That's good. Dogecoin is a coin.
yeah.
I was meeting a friend up in North Scottsdale the other week, and I was meeting them at a Chipotle, and they were walking over. So I was just walking around the parking lot, and I saw this guy, and he went over to the corner, and then I was like just walking back into the parking lot, and I saw this car start moving, and I was like, oh, it's the Tesla, and I was like, oh wait, there's no one in it. Oh wait, oh, it's doing the auto drive to go pick up the person, and so it was doing it, and then John, I've never been so actually disappointed in a Tesla. Like it couldn't get, it was a Model S and it couldn't get around this curve. It couldn't see the curve in the middle part of the middle doors. And I was like, huh, that was like really bad. And so the guy had to walk over to it. And then as he got there, supposedly he like made some crypto joke. And I was like, oh, so you bought Doge? And he's like, yeah. And then I started to like ask him ethically. I was like, so why do you support Doge? like, do you really support Elon, who's been supporting Doge and been pumping it, kind of? He's like, yada yada. But the long story, kind of to say, he said something that was very interesting to me, and I still think about it. He's like, yeah, why would I feel guilty? Because basically, my point was a lot of people bought into Doge, not just ignorant techies who can kind of fall on the sword, but like elderly, other types of generations, people that don't really know it, just bought into the hype train and got, it's at like 17 cents now. They probably bought it at 50, 60 cents. So I was like, does that not bother you that Elon and many others were kind of pumping this and then it got crashed? And he's like, no, you should take profit if there's profit to be taken. And I just thought it was so straightforward. And I was like, huh. And then we finished our convo and he drove off in his Model S. And I'm like, did you get that from shorting Doge? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting moment for me. So that was very tangential to be like, I'm curious, Phil, with all of this goals and divestment, do you have any, it seems like from 5 years ago plus, right? You've come a long way and you seem like a really, really kind and straightforward, just doing it. You're a good guy. Do you have principles that got you to where you are? Anything that you kind of like live life by that have helped you, do you think, to get you to make it so far?
Yeah. I guess like I never thought of myself as like making it, but
well, you've made it from being in a four person dorm hostel thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. No, I think for me, like I'm a grind, like I grind. Like I believe in like hard work. Not only working hard, but working smart too. So I think it's gonna sound cheesy, but like from my career days, like they taught us like those like several like principles.
Fail fast and cheap.
Yeah, fail fast and cheap. Yeah, I think grit is like the one that I personally connected with. Because again, like I didn't start with any knowledge, and I think it was like mostly grit and my own self-perseverance of like being determined to learn. And I think that is probably like the biggest principle that kind of got me to where I am, is like just having that constant hunger to just learn and just like take on like new challenges. Have obviously rewarded myself throughout like my career. I also don't believe in kind of like the so-called traditional like career ladder. I think like your career is just a jungle gym. You could take so many different avenues. So like for me personally, like most of my career moves have always been kind of like I'm gonna say like diagonal, in the sense that I haven't really stayed in a particular role for an extensive amount of time. It was always getting the opportunity to try something new. So a lot of my moves have been like lateral into like different function areas. but also being able to kind of absorb that knowledge and being able to kind of like apply that, apply that new set of learnings into your next role or next opportunity. So yeah, I think for me, just being gritty, having the willpower and determination to kind of achieve the things you want to do.
Do you think like as you said, you haven't been in one specific role for a long time. Like, would you recommend that to someone who's like thinking about career stuff? Because Hugh also has had like 3 different roles at his company.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, how do you think about staying in one role and like being good at that versus like working on new things every like 10 months or whatever?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to like preference and what your personality is. There's nothing wrong with staying, like joining a big organization, like staying in a particular function for an extensive like amount of time, right? It's just that personally for me, I was never interested in joining a large organization. I was always interested in being scrappy. And I think it's that scrappiness that kind of attracted me to like working in a startup where, every month, depending on the size of startup, will feel different. Like things are constantly breaking. It's definitely chaotic. There's no like formal processes in place, but it's also kind of rewarding to be a part of that journey of like joining a small startup and then growing as a company grows. Because obviously, as a company grows and as things break, there's new opportunities. Opportunities are created that way, right? In a way. So, for me personally, I think if you want to accelerate your learning and maximize your growth potential, then joining a smaller startup is probably a good bet. Especially if you join a startup like early on. The growth rates in terms of like personal development and career is just accelerated by like 5 or 10x working as a startup opposed to a larger organization.
I just want to say that makes sense with the caveat that you probably want to join a good startup and not a shitty startup.
That's a very valid point. Super important too. I think you don't want to join a failing startup. I've been fortunate to have joined like good startups that are still around today. Like they're still crushing it. So yeah, it definitely depends on types of companies you join.
What would differentiate a good startup from a bad startup?
I think a clear example would be you want to join a startup that has product market fit, that has an actual product that consumers or businesses want, opposed to joining a startup who is just kind of burning like VC money and kind of throwing money at the problem and trying to see like what sticks or what lands. You also want, I think another kind of like a good quality of another quality of like a good startup is being a part of an organization that knows when to pivot and knows how to pivot at the right time. So, if your organization is failing and their product is really bad and they, just stick with the course, then obviously that's a sinking ship and want to get out as soon as it can. I think, the people, especially the co-founders, down to the overall like leadership of a startup, is really important. You definitely want to be a part of a startup. You definitely want to join a startup with a good culture and that has like strong leadership. I think there's so many startup stories where they were just managed like poorly and they basically just go under. Because startups fail if they run out of cash, essentially. And if you're not able to create a meaningful business, then you won't succeed. And part of building a great business is highly dependent on the people that join the organization to help build that business. So.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, the one of the biggest things for me, and you already hit on it, is leadership. To having, it was just funny when I was in San Francisco. You had all these tech startups and all this VC money, and then you have so many different startups with founders that are in their 20s, and you're like, okay, maybe every now and then you get a Zuckerberg or something.
Yeah,
but
it's like a moonshot.
Yeah, but most of the times I'm like, would I really trust growth to someone who's similar age range as me without even having done a business before? I don't know. So I think that's a pretty big one. That's cool.
Definitely.
If that person's 30 though, then get on
right
board
as quick
30.
As
you can.
Yeah, 30 in one day. Let me join.
Okay, so we're close to the hour, and we usually ask all of our guests this, but do you have any words of wisdom or parting thoughts to our 1 or 2 listeners?
Parting thoughts. I guess like career-wise, if you want to, if you're interested in like technology or want to kind of, break into tech, then I say like just go for it. Start networking. Start cold messaging like people on LinkedIn that either has the role you want or is at the organization that you're interested in. And I did this a lot like early on too. And surprisingly, like people are like pretty nice. Like a lot of people are down to just kind of connect with you and kind of give you advice. So yeah, don't be afraid to network, reach out to people. And then I guess in terms of life, just find like what makes you happy and pursue it. So yeah.
You're amazing, Phil.
I also don't know like who your audience is. So.
do we even?
Like who are the 1 to 2 people?
John and me. No, I know others do. Hi, Alicia.
We love you.
You're the best for putting up with us. No, hey Phil, you're the man. This is amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Moon Tea podcast. You
of course. I'm
so
honored
cool.
to have made my mark on episode 23. Is
Something like that.
22.
22. 22.
Yeah, I think it would be 22.
I'll take 22.
Even more OG. Cool. Well, with that, everyone who is or is not listening anymore, this is the Moon Tea podcast where we talk about craft, community, and building meaningful careers. Like, comment, subscribe. We also are just beginning to, thank you, John, to have a Spotify podcast, which is pretty sick. And I think like an RSS feed. I don't really know what an RSS feed is yet. John's teaching me, but hey, something like that's in the works. So tweet at us, email us. I don't know. Links in the descriptions below. See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Signing off.